So you don't remember the accusations made against Al Monroe?
I don't. Was it reported?
Yes.
Do you know who Nina spoke to?
You.
A young woman looking drunk out of her mind is sitting alone at a club, attracting the eyes of a group of men that don't hesitate throwing sexist comments her way. Why is she dressed like that? Why is she alone?
That is just asking for it.
Among them, one man stands out. He doesn't seem to judge her. Instead, even though he doesn't outright say it, you can see he's judging his friend's behavior. He, unlike them, is a nice guy. So instead of laughing at the woman from afar, he offers her help. They have this witty exchange, showing some chemistry. He is played by Adam Brody. This is the beginning of a sweet rom-com you'll watch while wondering why men like that don't really exist. Except 2 minutes later, Adam Brody is carrying the drunk woman to his apartment, kissing her while she's barely awake, and that's when you realize, oh yeah, men like that do exist. In fact, they're everywhere.
What are you doing? Hey, I said, what are you doing?
Promising Young Woman is a movie about Cassie, a medical school dropout traumatized by the sexual assault of her best friend. In order to get some relief from her internalized anger at the treatment her friend got after telling the authorities about the crime, Cassie goes to a bar every night, where she pretends to black out, waits for a nice guy to try and take advantage, goes to his house and then... No, she doesn't kill him. And that's the whole point. Director Emerald Fennell, who is also an actress and can be seen in the last season of The Crown, explained she always wanted to do a revenge movie about female rage, but with a real woman at the center, with the physical limitations that most women have. So Cassie doesn't take up a sword or a gun to go after the man who did her wrong. Instead, she confronts them, scares them and hopefully, maybe, makes them think about what they're doing. And hopefully, maybe, makes the male audience think too.
I think you should go.
But a second ago, you were determined for me to stay. You were pretty insistent, actually.
I'm a nice guy.
Are you?
Eventually, after hearing her friend's assailant is out there, living his best life and about to get married, Cassie decides to embark on a journey of revenge. Searching for the people who took part in her friend's downfall with the goal to hold them accountable for it. From there on, Roman numerals start to show up on the screen to indicate a new person Cassie is about to confront. Fennell actually came up with the idea in the editing room. Since Cassie's plan for revenge would be slowly revealed to the audience as she went on, the numbers serve the purpose of giving some structure to her actions, but also separating the scenes where she is just living her life from the moment she's acting on her revenge. It's very impressive to see how precise Fennell was with the way she carries her story, especially considering the movie was shot in 23 days, which is an unbelievably tight time frame for any movie, but even more so for one with so many characters in different locations. With a soundtrack that includes Paris Hilton and Britney Spears, a sweet rom-com inspired wardrobe and makeup, an impromptu musical scene and even a cute love story as the background, the movie was shot to look fun and safe. Until it is not anymore. Exactly like Cassie's life. According to Fennell, it needed to feel just as misleading and as contained yet manic in its detail as the lead character of Cassie is. Actually, it's no coincidence that the nice guy in the beginning of the film is played by Adam Brody. In fact, the casting crew chose male actors who had previously played characters known as good or wholesome to show that rapists could be someone who seems or is considered really nice. Even the way the camera works is towards fooling the audience into this commonplace romantic comedy environment, with a lot of the beginning of the film very static visually, until Cassie starts her mission and then the camera starts to move more. There are also way less close-ups than you would expect in a contemporary film, and that happens because Fennell is a big Hitchcock fan. The director was known to use close-ups only in specific scenes to create suspense. So here, Fennell does the same, only using close-ups for scenes where Cassie has to confront the actions that start her revenge. Cassie as a character is the heart of the movie. Carey Mulligan plays her with the perfect amount of restraint, showing her vulnerable side as the smart, promising young woman of the title, but also letting her hidden pain reveal itself slowly, in such a way that by the time we find out with Cassie that the only man she trusted throughout the movie was also involved in her friend's assault, we become almost afraid for the man, for any men in the movie. Because it suddenly feels like there's nothing that character wouldn't do to get justice. And that gets proven in the controversial end of the movie. Cassie is murdered by her friend's assailant when she tries to exact revenge on him. But in the end, even her death is used as part of the plan, and the man ends up in prison for murder with a video of his assault in the hands of a criminal lawyer. That was Fennell's plan for the character all along, and even though people complained a lot about the ending, the director explained she couldn't see it going any other direction. What does that mean? Well, basically the movie plays with fiction cliches, only to throw you into reality, a very direct allegory to how dangerous the concept of the rom-com Prince Charming it is for women, and also for men. And how effectively sexist concepts can be put inside a young head when it comes dressed up in innocent rom-com clothes. Carey Mulligan talked about how many times she read screenplays that had a female character introduced with the description of beautiful, but doesn't know it. A cliché that, among other problematic messages of self-esteem, will also carry the significance that it doesn't matter much what the female character does or is. What matters is that she is out of your league, but you would still have a shot with her. It's one of the many little things that add up in Hollywood, dangerous concepts naturalized in comedy inside harmless movies. Examples are everywhere. In Animal House, a college freshman debates date raping a passed-out girl. On 16 Candles, the hero of the story leaves his drunk girlfriend with a nerd and tells him,
"It's totally gone. Have fun."
As director Fennell explains, it's so embedded in our culture that so many people don't really understand what's wrong about it still. I wanted to have a film that shows them, that's sneaking it in the guise of something fun. But if you think that with that much of a clear concept promising young woman would have a message easy to understand, maybe even too obvious, well, think again. Even though the movie was raved at Sundance, a reviewer from Variety seemed unhappy with the movie, but above anything else, with Mulligan's casting as Cassie. Margot Robbie is a producer here, and one can, perhaps too easily, imagine the role might once have been intended for her. Whereas with this star, Cassie wears her pickup bait gear like bad drag, even her long blonde hair feels like a put-on. Yeah, you heard that right. After watching a movie about how women are only appreciated for their appearance and how dangerous society can be for any women exactly because of that, Variety wrote a review saying the leading actress wasn't pretty enough for the role.
She's kind of an idiot, huh? Gorgeous, though. Who needs brains? They never did a girl any good.
Anyway, the movie landed 5 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, and Fennell took home the award for Best Original Screenplay. Mulligan is brilliant, Fennell knows exactly what she's doing, the message is on point, and if all of that was not enough, the movie found a smart way to use Paris Hilton's Stars Are Blind for its soundtrack. That's worth all the points in my book.